Welcome to week 2 of business analysis techniques. This is the spring 2014 quarter, and I'm your online instructor, Diana. So I want to take a few minutes, as I'll do every week, to review with you the expectations and assignments for the week. So week 2, we're going to actually review chapter 2, and I do have the PowerPoint attached here in Blackboard for you. Week 2, you're going to have a discussion question over the probability concepts that we are reading about in chapter 2. So in the discussion, you're going to discuss a way you can apply a probability concept from this unit to your personal or professional life. So we use probability all the time, and as you go through the reading, you'll see some examples, and you'll be able to relate certain examples to things that you maybe encounter in your career or in life. We use a lot of probabilities all the time, everything from the weather to our investments. So I want to spend the most of the time on the assignment. So this is the assignment file that we're going to work on, and inside this assignment file there are 5 problems, and this is it. Okay, so here's the assignment worksheet. So remember, you're going to work these problems after you've read chapter 2, after you've viewed the PowerPoints, and after you've viewed this video. So everything, if you're watching this video at the beginning of the week, that's great, but everything may not be completely clear because you haven't read the chapter yet. So once you read the chapter, review the video again, and that'll help you drill down to the things you need to know to complete the assignment. So, but I want to go ahead and go over those with you so you know what to look for. So this first problem, you're going to determine the probability of students in a class receiving an A, B, C, D, or F based on the number of students and the information that we have given to us. So there are 300 total students, and we've got the distribution here of how many students received each grade. So to calculate the probability, we're going to take the number of students who received each particular grade and divide that by the total number of students. So to determine the probability of receiving an A, we would take the number of students who got an A divided by the total number of students. And so that response would go here. So we would do that for each letter grade. There's an example of a problem just like this on page 23 of your textbook. So you can review that example as well. But you're just going to take the number of students that received any particular grade and divide that by the total, and that'll give you the probability. So you can also check yourself here by summing all these answers, because if you did this correctly, and once you have all these filled in, your total here should be 100% would be the total. And again, there's a sample problem of that on page 23. Now, this next problem is also a probability problem, and we're trying to find the average number of loaves of bread that this firm will sell, based on the fact that there is a 5% probability of selling no loaves, 15% probability of selling 1 loaf, etc. So we've got the probabilities listed here for the number of loaves being sold. And so what we'll have to do is we have the intermediary step of multiplying the probability times the number of loaves. So we're going to take the probability of selling 0 loaves times 0 loaves. Probability of 15 times the probability, which is 15% of selling 1 loaf. So we're going to take 15% times 1, 20% times 2. So we're going to take each probability and multiply it times the number of loaves. So you will have those answers like right here. So here you'll put the answer to this times this, and then here this times this. So you'll have all the average, the number of loaves per probability listed here. So then in this green box, you're going to sum all of these. Now, that is kind of hard to follow if you haven't read the chapter yet. So I'm going to tell you that the sample problem is on page 35. So it's at the bottom of 34 and then on 35. There's an example problem. But the basic steps is you're going to multiply these items times each other, each line. And so you'll put those products here. And then in the green box, you're going to sum these, and that will tell you the average number of loaves you can expect to pay. So make sure when you do the reading, you review the information on page 35, and that'll work out for you. Now, problem 3, you're going to use the binomial distribution function, which is explained on page 41 of the text. So as you're doing the reading, make sure you bookmark page 41, because you'll need this for problem 3. And this is an Excel function, so you're going to enter a formula here that's going to use the binomial distribution function, and there are instructions on page 41 how to use that function, what to enter. You're going to enter equals binom dist, and then you'll put in the correct parameters. So this problem, you're going to, all 3 of these on this page, you're going to use the binomial distribution function, and it is shown on page 41 how to use that. And so then problem 4, move on to problem 4. On problem 4, all 3 of these problems are going to use the normal distribution function. The normal distribution is on page 47. So page 47 will show you how to use the normal distribution function. And each of these, as you do the reading, you'll learn more about it, but each of these is used to find the probabilities of certain things occurring based on the type of data that we have. So with the normal distribution function, you're going to find the probabilities and then place the appropriate formulas in these green boxes, and the function that you're going to use is the normal distribution. So we're trying to find average sales here. Then the last problem for the week, you're going to use the exponential distribution function. This is located on page 52. So you're going to use the Excel function exponential distribution, and you're going to again put your formulas in each of these. This type of probability function is used when you have queuing problems. So this example is a call center, and you have calls that take a certain amount of time. And so you're going to estimate the probability of a call taking more or less than a certain amount of time. On this one here, the third one, I'm going to give you a hint that you're going to have to do 1 minus the function to get the correct answer on this third one. But all 3 of these are using the exponential distribution function that you're going to read about on page 52. So as you go through the reading, make sure that you're looking and taking notes on the probability on page 23, the probability example on page 35, the binomial distribution on page 41, the normal distribution on page 47, and then the exponential distribution examples on page 52. There's a lot of information in this chapter, so I want to make sure you know what to focus on. If you have any trouble using these functions, you can send me an email with your spreadsheet attached, and I can work through and see what kind of problems you're having. Make sure that you go through the PowerPoints in addition to reading the chapter. Make sure you participate in the discussion. Give a full response to the discussion question, and then give at least 2 responses to your classmates throughout the week. So you should have a total of at least 3 postings in the discussion area. And again, if you have any questions, just send me an email, and I always respond the same day unless it's late at night. And my other contact information and office hours is posted in the instructor area. So I will leave you to it, and if there's any concerns, just contact me, and I will talk to you again very soon.